It's Roommate versus Roommate with comedian Ken Gard taking on comedian Nate Weatherup in Chicago White Sox versus Ghostbusters Trivia. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be? Welcome to the very first episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. Who am I? I'm a comedian, been doing stand-up comedy for about 10 years, originally from Chicago, now living in Los Angeles with my beautiful wife and my beautiful daughter. I'm a producer. I am a segment producer for a Nickelodeon show called Crash Leads, hosted by Rob Gronkowski, which is part of the Super Jacket family, Rob Dyrdek's production company. I worked on Ridiculousness. I work on this show, and we have a bunch of other stuff in the works as well. I am a trivia host, which is probably why you are listening to this podcast, to maybe pass some time on the treadmill or in your car. I host trivia at a bunch of different bars and venues and special events around Los Angeles. You can check all those out on my website, triviawithbuds.com. I am also a superhero. That is the fourth thing that I am. It's what keeps me going every day. I'm big time into working and putting in the work and trying to get stuff done. So here it is, the podcast. Why a podcast? You might be thinking, if you like me, if you play my trivia nights, you know that I love everything that's related to pop culture. So I had a few people asking me about doing a podcast, and I've always wanted to do a trivia-based podcast, but an idea never came to me. And finally it did. And this is basically the premise for the show. I'm going to have two friends of mine, whether they be two comedians, two producers, two writers, maybe a writer and a comedian, maybe a guy who walks dogs and a lady who works at Walmart. I don't know who it's going to be, but hopefully they'll be people of note or people you've heard of or just funny friends of mine. And they'll go head-to-head in this trivia contest where they each give me 5 topics that they are into, and I surprise them with one of those topics and 10 questions about that topic. And each guest will have their own topic and 10 questions coming their way, and we will alternate asking questions about each of those 2 topics between the guests. And if one of the guests gets a question right, they get 1 point. If they can steal their opponent's question when it's their opponent's topic's turn, they get 2 points for the steal. That's basically how it works. Then we're going to do like a showdown question that combines both topics and close it out with an audience participation round where all 3 of us will name stuff of a certain thing, like Simpsons characters or spaces on a Monopoly board or MLB teams, for example. So yeah, that's the basic gist of the podcast. And I've always wanted to do a podcast. I did a podcast back in like 2011 maybe in Chicago with my good friend Kevin Kellum, comedian from Chicago, radio personality, and it was called Joking Off, and we did like 30 episodes, and it was super fun. It was just us BSing with other comedian friends of ours, and we just got busy and stopped doing it. So I kind of wanted to be the only one responsible for this podcast, which is why it took me 4 or 5 years to get it going again myself. So that's what this is going to be. This is going to come out every single Tuesday. You'll get new episodes on Tuesday on iTunes and Libsyn and all the podcasting stuff. So if you are big on podcasts, subscribe to it. Leave it a review, as they say on every podcast of all time. And all that stuff helps keep it afloat and on the charts and on the store and all that good stuff. TriviaWithBuds.com has info on all my live trivia nights. You can check that out anytime. TriviaWithBuds, BUDDS.com. See all my different locations. Book a party. See pictures of people having a good time and all that good stuff. And check out my live streams. I'm a big fan of the Facebook live stream feature. You'll see me doing trivia rounds on live streams or just daily or weekly updates on what's going on with me and my life. Without any further ado, I think we're going to get into it. Oh, I did want to mention this. I love podcasts, so that's why I'm doing a podcast. Some of my favorite podcasts of all time are as follows. Comedy and Everything Else. That was probably the first podcast I listened to. Jimmy Dore and Steph and Todd Glass back in the day. That was when I first started doing comedy and was driving around quite a bit full-time as a comedian and trying to find ways to make the time pass in the car. Listened to a lot of Comedy and Everything Else. Never Not Funny, Jimmy Pardo's podcast. Very influential in, just me as a fan of comedy. Very, very awesome podcast. How Did This Get Made? That's one I like now. I really look forward to new episodes. How Did This Get Made every week? I love movies. I love bad movies. And I love the way those three talk about bad movies. So check that out if you haven't listened to it. I'm really big on Gary Vaynerchuk, VaynerMedia, motivational stuff. If you're a business guy, you got to check out Gary V. He's the best. Those are just a few. And again, big fan of podcasts myself. I thought, why not dive in 10 years after everybody else started a podcast? And here it is. This is the pilot episode. This is the first one. This is my baby. I like this one. This features two of my great friends, Ken Garr, one of my oldest friends in comedy, and Nate Weatherup, one of my next oldest friends in comedy. Two great Chicago, two LA transplants, two roommates. So you'll see a fun dynamic here between these two guys. And Ghostbusters and Chicago White Sox is what we're getting into. So check it out, everybody. This is the first episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. Here we go. Chicago. I'm from it. And the two guests on today's podcast are also from there, kind of. They made their roots there. I would say their comedy roots in Chicago. One's from the Detroit area, I believe. And the other one grew up just a town or two over from me. I'm sitting here with, first, one of my oldest friends in comedy. One of the first guys I saw do a stand-up set and then went, ooh, I should try and do that. It was Mr. Ken Garr. What's going on, Ken?
Hey, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me in your apartment. This is the first time I've been over here in the 3 years you've been out here. You've come to my house probably 30 times, my different places I've lived, and I've never been to yours, so thanks for having me over.
You've got a pool, so...
You have an air mattress here that I'm going to be sleeping on after this podcast. Nice little nap. We talked about a nap right when we got here.
Siesta.
Perfect summer day, and you're wearing your brightest, greenest shirt. How's that going?
It's good. Yeah, I just want to pop out my eye color.
It says you look fat when you cry,
yeah,
which is a Pete Lee joke. It says PeteLee.net. He's still rocking the .net, so I like that. Very good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pete Lee. To his left and my right is another good friend of mine. I've known him maybe just a few years shorter than I've known Ken, and one of Chicago's finest. Now he's out here making a name for himself. He opens for Dave Coulier, Uncle Joey from Full House, Nate Weatherup. How's it going, Nate?
Going well. How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for, again, this is both your apartments,
yes,
so thanks for having me on your half.
We make a home here.
I like the tape down the middle like the I Love Lucy episode.
Yeah,
you guys stay on each other's sides. That's kind of cute. Very good. So I have you guys on the podcast today go head-to-head in a couple different topics that you guys picked. So I told you to send me 5 topics, things you're good at in terms of trivia, and we'll start with Ken's topics.
Well, let's clarify really fast, because you didn't say things we know about in terms of trivia. You said send 5 topics.
5 topics, yeah.
So we didn't
And
realize...
I literally went to CNN and I'm like, what are people talking about? Hey, write a trivia question about the terrorist attack in Nice, France.
Right.
Well, it's the first time in this podcast that there's a 0-0 tie.
Yeah. I will say that Ken...
Worst podcast ever.
Ah, damn it. Oh, no.
Ken, I thought Ken was maybe under the gun because I literally texted him the emoji of the gun to send me his 5 topics. I had to do them before I left the house this morning. So Ken's really do read like a set list. It looks like the back of a CD that you maybe recorded.
Sure.
So here's Ken's topics. We're going to start first with something near and dear to my heart. Maybe yours too, Nate. Although you've been losing weight, so maybe not as much anymore. Portillo's hot dogs.
Yes.
Oh, no matter what you
No matter what, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's like the definitive Chicago hot dog. Whenever I go back to Chicago, that's probably the first place I go, right? Just pour a cake shake down your pants.
Yeah.
I'm back
It's
home, baby.
Right
back
next
home.
to Midway Airport.
Sure.
So you just...
My parents live around the corner from the one in River North, so
I like
it's
to tour,
the first thing I do.
I like to tour all the Portillos. Like they're all different, even though they're the exact same, except for some different catchy stuff hanging
It's
up.
that same awful music.
As I say.
Do you have one of those maps where you get a magnet for like each state you've had Portillos in?
That's right. And I have quite a few of those on the map. Also, the one thing that is a staple in every Portillo's is a signed headshot of who? Jim Belushi.
Jim
That's
Belushi.
right when you walk
He's
in. It's
visited every one of
this
them.
guy likes hot dogs, according to him.
According to Jim.
According to Jim?
That's
Just go ahead
right.
and say
All
it.
right, that's a point to Gar. He won that one.
I don't want to say I was setting you guys up for that, but I was. Your next topic, Chicago White Sox. That's near and dear to your heart, right? You're
My home team.
Home team, born and raised South Side Chicago. Sox fan. You can't be a Cubs fan living where we grew up, right?
No.
They get you.
You can be, but we beat you with bats.
You will not last long. Yeah.
we trying to root them out.
And a lot of homophobic slurs.
Sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go team. Nate, you're not a big Sox fan, are you?
No,
Or-
I grew up in Detroit, and I worked grounds crew for the Tigers for 2 years in college.
Grounds crew.
yeah.
What is that entail?
It's the people that
What does
rake
entail?
between innings, and then like my job before the game, I set up the mound.
rake.
And
with
then,
a K, not a...
And then after the game, very different, and then after the game, you clean all of the chaw off of the floor in the dugouts, and that's
chaw.
awful. It's gross.
I haven't heard someone say chaw in a long time. Maybe since the last time I was on the South Side. A guy ordered chaw in front of me last time I was in line at Portillo's. They had it.
They had chaw at...
Did he dip it?
He dipped, right? Yeah, it was dipped. It was a dipped chaw. Your next topic, Brexit. The Brexit.
Yeah. So like I said, took him right out of CNN. And I was like, hey, let's talk about that. That's a cool topic.
I barely know what that is, so I don't know if I could write trivia questions about it, let alone 1 or 10.
I'm Scottish, so I know I'm against it.
You're against.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Can you give me a quick breakdown?
10? So
10 words of the Brexit.
Britain had a
some sort of exit from Britain, right? That's where it comes from.
Yeah, they had a quorum to leave the EU, the European Union, and they won the quorum, and so they're exiting the EU, which has significant ramifications both financially and
put your phone down.
Immigration.
Yeah, take first of all, take off the wig you just put on. That white wig like they wear is a little obnoxious right now, but.
Too much, is it? All right.
Your next topic was Facebook Live, which literally impossible to write a trivia question.
I'm so sorry. Right. I had no idea this was a trivia show.
This makes
You're send me 5 topics.
I know. This makes for all kinds of fun for me because I was like, what could I add? Like, when did it start? When did it come out? How often?
I just thought it was a cool topic to talk about.
Do you use Facebook Live quite a bit?
I just did a Facebook Live for Playboy.
Sure.
Their Facebook page.
Big time.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
What was the video like? What did you do in the video?
It was an interview. Bridget Fatasi is the advice columnist for Playboy.com.
Yeah.
And so they're starting to run like Facebook Live shows almost every day now.
Live's blowing up because it's taken the technology of Periscope, but way more people have Facebook than Periscope. You know what I mean?
Well, they bought Periscope.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, Facebook.
Periscope. That's why it's like exactly the same kind of interface. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was owned by Twitter. Wasn't Periscope owned by Twitter?
Oh, you could be right.
Okay.
Hey, there's a trivia question.
We're making it happen.
Okay.
Your last topic was dating in LA, which is
again. I feel like
but you could be what's this hot spot? We could probably do a trivia round about dating in LA.
Yeah.
It would just be very sad.
It would be sad.
Just a lot of crying.
A lot of dates. You guys have been on a lot of dates out here, right? You date out here?
No.
Dating
costs money, so.
Can't just go on a hike. Hey, how about a hike?
Ken goes on a lot of hikes.
I go on a lot of
hikes. That is true.
Ken takes a lot of selfies on his hikes, I've noticed. Well, Ken, I will tell you right now, we did pick Chicago White Sox for your topic.
Oh, good.
Because that was literally the only one we could do.
Yes, okay.
A round of trivia.
Right.
Once again, this is a trivia show.
Sure. And this is a special episode for all the people that come to my trivia nights and they go, where's the sports questions? They always ask me, and I go, I'm not a huge sports guy. If I do a sports round, it's like pretty general stuff. But this is a specific round all about the Chicago White Sox. And I had a fun time coming up with a question, so we're going to do that for you. Nate, let's get into your topics real quick. Your 5
Mine
things.
You're going to read like a 12-year-old's Christmas list.
Sure. This is straight out of a live journal entry. I love this.
I can almost guess what your topic is.
Yeah, you're going to be close.
Here's the first one, Ghostbusters, which is in theaters, the new one.
It's topical, and I'm knowledgeable on the subject.
Are you excited about this new one? Are you going to see it because it's just
I'm going to see it. I'm very... I want it to be great.
Yeah.
I love Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters too, and most people didn't. I want it to be great, but I'm afraid it's not going to be, and then I'm not going to be allowed to say that.
This is what I love about America. Like you can like, this movie's going to suck. Here's my $14.
Yeah. You and I did that with Batman and Superman. Batman versus Superman, me and Ken went opening day, like just because like so many people were talking about it, it's like, fine, let's just go. Yeah. It was a Friday, much like today, maybe around this time.
Yeah.
And it was just a standard, decent, not terrible, but just kind of like, I didn't need to see it.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I want the movie to be good, but if it's not, and I say I didn't like it, it's just like, oh, you misogynist, you hate women. I'm like, nah, what if it just sucks on its own merits?
Did you hear about the figures based on the new movie characters? The female cast are not selling well at all. So I don't know if it's people not buying them or they made too many, but like they're already all marked down on clearance before the movie came out at certain Targets and things. So that's,
I have no opinion on that.
I think, how quiet both of us are. And that's interesting information that you provided us, Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think, I think it's up to the parents to kind of like push those types of.
I bought. They have a new line of. It's called, I think, Superhero High, and it's made by DC, and they're like Barbie dolls, but they're the female. It's like. Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, Batgirl, Supergirl,
I think
and
my
Wonder
niece
Woman.
is into that. Yeah.
So I've been buying those for my daughter and
your daughter.
Yeah.
She
well,
she doesn't get to open the package and leaves them on your shelf.
That may be 100%. We only have one shelf. And, they just happen to go up there. But yeah, she walks around with them and kind of taps on them like, let's open this. And I'm like, this is for your future.
This is your college fund, sweetie.
Your next topic, Harry Potter.
Yep.
Harry Potter.
Yep.
Which we did recently on another podcast. So I'm going to tell you that's not the topic.
Thank God.
So wait a minute. He gets Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
Which
all right.
I don't know a lot about the history of it.
I'm just going to keep going. Comiskey.
Do you know a lot about Harry Potter?
I know nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I saw the first movie and a big spider came out. I'm like, I'm good.
That's the second movie.
Wow. See, that's how little I know about it.
Nate, since we're not doing a Harry Potter round for you, I do have a question in my head from last night, just at my live trivia nights. It was, what year did the first book come out? Do you know that?
1997.
Oh my God, that's dead on. That is it was 97.
Battle of Hogwarts took place in 1998.
I see that year is tattooed below the Chicago Stars on your arm. That's what that entails?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Your next topic
is where it all began.
State capitals. So this is
pretty,
pretty good. You guys travel a lot.
Oh yeah.
How many state capitals do you think you've done stand-up comedy in?
Ooh,
that's a good question, right? Nate, I'll give you a hint. There's 50 of them, and let's get that number going. What do you got? About 20?
I've got Atlanta.
That's not a capital.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Atlanta's not the capital of Georgia.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's not. It's Augusta, isn't it?
Augusta.
No, Augusta, Maine.
Oh, it's Atlanta.
I think it is. Wait, what's Augusta, Maine?
Augusta's Maine.
We would have really sucked at that.
Can we phone a friend?
Yeah. Actually, I think like Springfield, Lansing, Atlanta, which is totally the capital.
Sure.
And that's probably it.
Madison.
Washington, D.C. That's a capital, right? There were 51.
Madison?
You said Madison.
Yeah. I haven't gotten paid to do it in Madison. Does that count?
Really? What happened there?
I always just get guest spots there.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah.
We'll get you up to Juneau.
Guys, great.
There you go.
Great comedy club, Madison on State.
Good times.
Madison on State?
Madison on State. I got a fight with a fraternity brother in the streets there.
In the streets?
Sounds about
took
right.
it to the streets?
Took it to the streets.
Yeah.
Flipped a pizza slice in the guy's face.
Nice.
Never done that in my life. I felt like I was a Ninja Turtle sequel.
Right.
It was great. The Simpsons. That was your next category.
Yeah.
The Simpsons. Now, I feel like you'd be good at that, Ken. That'd be a good head-to-head, right? You watch a lot of Simpsons.
I feel pretty confident. I will actually tip my cap to Nate. He probably knows a lot more. Sure. But I did get to meet Matt Groening and Nate.
That's
true.
Now, how did you do that again? What was the story behind that?
A friend of ours knows a couple of the writers, and they have read-throughs. They do script read-throughs, and she's like, "Hey, you want to come do a script read-through?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." And it was just amazing. Got to meet Matt Groening and Dan Castellaneta.
And he drew a little homer on your script, right?
My script, autographed it, was really interested in the fact that I was doing stand-up comedy.
And you just sold that to buy the TV behind you?
It's I got the
Very
TV.
good.
Yeah.
That's L.A. Your last topic you picked was rollerblading. Very general.
Yeah.
What would give me an example of a rollerblading trivia question that you think I'd send
Well,
you
first of all, I didn't know it was going to be trivia. I just thought it was going to be like the most... honestly, I had 4 topics, and I was like, don't do another book or movie thing. And I was like, what was something I was really into as a kid? And I'm like, rollerblading. That's funny. He'll ask about that, and then we'll riff.
Here's your rollerblading question for the day. What was the movie about rollerblading in the 90s? That's the only thing I could think of.
All of them?
Well, that's true. I was thinking of...
I believe it was pretty predominant in Mighty Ducks 2.
Yeah. How about Seth Green? Seth Green's in this movie. He plays the cousin in Ohio of a surfer who comes out to visit for the summer.
Isn't that something? No, I'm
Airborne. That was the one I was thinking. Do you remember that one? That's literally the only rollerblading movie I can.
Can you name the most popular skateboarding movie of all time?
Skateboarding. Is it the one with Christian Slater? Yeah. Gleaming the Cube. That's the one.
Yeah. Gleaming the Cube.
Did you skateboard as a kid?
Absolutely not. No. No, I was prone to injury as a child, so I did not.
I'm not good at balance. Can you guys do those? Can you guys do those hoverboards? I can't do those.
No.
I have one at my house. I have one in my trunk right now.
You have one?
We could do it. That'd be a good podcast, right? Just people silently hoverboarding.
He's on the hoverboard.
We need to call the ambulance.
So with the timing of this summer movie coming out, I did pick Ghostbusters for you.
There we go.
It's Ghostbusters and Chicago White Sox.
Trivia Showdown.
We're going to get right into it. The buzzword is going to be, you guys decided on one. What is it?
Bears.
Because you're from Chicago. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Here we go. Round number, there's really no round. I guess it's round number 1. We go alternate these questions. It's going to be Chicago White Sox, then Ghostbusters. You get 1 point if you get your answer correct for your topic. So, Ken, if you get this first Chicago White Sox question right, you get 1 point. Nate, if you could steal the answer and buzz in and correctly answer before Ken, you would get 2 points. And that goes vice versa. Same thing for you going towards Ghostbusters, Ken. Okay? So here's the first question. We're getting right into it. This is Chicago White Sox trivia. In what year did the White Sox win their first championship? In what year did the White Sox win their first championship? Buzzing in with the word Bears.
Bears.
Yep.
1907.
Incorrect. Nate, do you have a guess?
1917.
Oh, it was 1906. Oh, close. So damn close. Good old Ken.
Score remains 0-0.
It is 0-0. Let's see what happens in the rest of this thing. This is your first Ghostbusters question.
This is gonna be a baseball
When
score.
we get things wrong, you have to use Hawk Harrelson quotes. How about that? Can of corn.
Love it.
Grab some bench.
Here we go. Ghostbusters. What location does the opening scene of the first film take place in? Gotta wait till it's done. It's done. But I'll still count it.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
What location does the opening scene of the first film take place in?
Bears.
Yeah.
New York Public Library.
Yes, that's right. It is a library. So that means Nate has 1 point. Well done, Nate. Did you feel like you knew that one, Ken?
No, I thought it was a museum. To be honest with you, wasn't it? I thought that it wasn't it Venkman doing the psychology test, or is that scene?
No, it's the old lady in the basement.
Yeah, it's the scene right after.
Fun fact: my best friend is 32 years old. He will still not watch that scene.
It's a spooky.
He has never seen it. He saw it one time, scared the crap out of him. He has never watched it.
Got to be the only movie where a card catalog is going to attack somebody, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. Number 2 for Chicago White Sox. This is coming towards Ken, but again, Nate, you can jump in and steal. What number jersey was Frank Thomas on the White Sox?
Bears.
Yep.
35.
35. 1 point for Ken.
Actually knew that one.
You knew that one, Nate. That's good. I like this. I like when people know both the topics, which is hard to do, and it just happens randomly, but it feels like it's going to happen today. What artist, this is Ghostbusters, second Ghostbusters question, what artist had the iconic Ghostbusters theme song?
Bears.
Ooh, Ken.
Bobby Brown.
No.
Oh, shoot.
Nate, you got an answer?
Ray Parker Jr.
It is Ray Parker Jr. Nate's got 2 on the board.
That was one of those where I knew it.
Yeah, but he didn't buzz in.
But I didn't have to. You were already wrong.
Yeah, once the one other person. But yeah, who are we waiting on? The air mattress?
It's a technicality.
What? So we talked about you going to see the new one, Nate. What? Do you like the sequel? You mentioned you like the sequel.
Yeah.
Do you like it as much as the first?
As much as no.
No?
But there are some great parts.
I caught the end of it last night.
Janos Paha's fantastic.
It is. Is that the
Is that
villain?
the Statue of Liberty comes alive?
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 2.
And Vigo.
He says, I wonder what's under her. She's probably wearing nothing under that robe. And then he goes, she's French, right? Is that the joke there? Classic comedy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Going back to Chicago White Sox, number 3. What is the nickname of the fuzzy green mascot for the Sox?
Bears.
Yep.
Southpaw.
Southpaw. Ken got it. It's 2-2. This is close. Did you know that one, Nate?
No.
No, you wouldn't have got it.
Fun fact, we hired Southpaw
Really?
to come to a birthday party for my 30-year-old friend.
Oh,
not
really?
his child. It was for him.
He's like, I want him to jump out of a cake. We're like, this is getting kind of weird.
Southpaw at the time was played by a girl.
Really?
Yeah.
So she did. She popped out of that cake.
Yeah.
You guys all took turns. No?
No.
All right. Trying to make it weird.
Got creepy.
Here we go.
Trying to? Succeeding at.
Number 3, Nate or Ken. Let's see who knows this Ghostbusters question. On the set of Ghostbusters, what recently passed friend would Dan Aykroyd refer to Slimer as?
Bears.
Yeah.
Belushi.
That's the one.
So I really have to wait the whole way through?
Yes.
All right.
You did.
All right. Take it easy.
I know so few things.
Okay.
What a dick.
I get excited.
I wish you would have picked Brexit.
I hope he chokes on a Portillo's hot dog. All right, going back to the Chicago White Sox, number 4 for the White Sox side. Charlie Robertson was the first player to do what in White Sox history?
Bears.
Yeah.
Win the Cy Young.
What was it?
Cy Young?
No, incorrect. Oh, wow. Any guesses for you, Nate? If you get it right, you get 2 points. Charlie Robertson, first player to do what in White Sox history?
Win MVP?
No, it's pitch a perfect game for the Sox. Pitch a perfect game.
I'm going to check the stats on that. I think maybe if he pitched a perfect game that year, he would have won the Cy Young.
I think you could tell by looking at me, I know a lot about Charlie Robertson.
I can tell.
Okay?
You're wearing his jersey today.
Yeah.
My
Or
guess
a
was
Ric
going to
Flair
be
shirt.
integration, but
Oh, that's not bad because of Robertson.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
I don't know.
Sure.
Who's your favorite player of all time in the Sox there, Ken?
That's
Ozzie
a tough
Guillen.
one. Yeah, it's. I think my favorite player is Robin Ventura because I loved just watching him play third base, and he holds the record for most grand slams.
Sure. He's a fun player to watch.
Him or Paul Canerico.
I'd say Adam Dunn was probably my favorite.
Oh, one and
I
done.
was a big
One
fan
and
of
done.
that
One and
pickup
done.
for you guys.
It's a nice shirt, one and done. I like that. What? How old were you when you went to your first game? Who'd you go with?
I went with my friends Mike Stedman, Tim Waddick. We took the bus down to 35th, and then they transferred and took the bus down to Shields.
How old were you when your parents let you do that?
11 or 12.
Really?
Yeah. Our parents didn't care. They're like, "What? You want to leave for the whole day? Okay, all right, bye, bye, peace." Yeah. And then I thought I left my baseball glove on the bus, and I was like, I was so upset. And then I turned around and my buddy was holding it, and he had it. But we went to the old Comiskey Park.
Sure.
1989 about.
That's awesome. What year? This isn't a trivia question, but what year did that stop being named? Did they knock? They didn't knock. They knocked the whole thing down.
They knocked
rebuilt
Comiskey,
it.
They knocked down Comiskey Park. And built U.S. Cellular Field across the street. 91.
91.
Yeah, and it was Comiskey until the late 90s, right?
It was always Comiskey.
New Comiskey before it got named U.S. Cellular.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
That's okay. That's where I was confused.
Yeah, then they sold the rights or whatever.
I gotcha. We're heading back over to the fourth question for Ghostbusters. What did they use as a cheaper alternative to marshmallow in the first film's end scenes?
Bears.
Yep.
Shaving cream.
Shaving cream's correct. Good job, Nate. We got 4 to Ken's 2. What do? You do electric razor? You do shaving cream? What's your thing?
Oh, electric razor, yeah.
All the way?
I hate straight razors.
Really?
I
Does
never
it scare
ever
you?
use them.
Put
I have
it to your
terrible
neck?
skin,
Oh,
and so
Just
I
bumps.
just rash everywhere when I do it.
I've been using like the old school straight razor cartridge that you slide in through the side.
Oh, like the old
timey, and I still to this day get nervous putting it by my neck.
Yeah.
Even though like I'm in control of it, and I don't really even cut myself, but it's the smoothest shave I've ever gotten. What do? You do electric?
I just look in the mirror and go, "Get off my face."
Classic Southside badass.
And for some reason, the top of your head listened way better.
Oh, there it is.
Boom!
That's a good.
Ken's bald for those listening at home.
Nate is well on his way.
I do want to say I did triple check to make sure we're recording that last joke. That was a hot joke. We're going back over to the Chicago White Sox. Disgruntled DJ Steve Dahl created what crazy event in the middle of the field that drew 100,000 people?
Bears.
Yep.
Disco Inferno. Like the...
Bears.
Yeah.
The disco demolition.
Almost stole 2 points.
I know.
Boom.
But
I was like, I cannot remember the second word
I got
of it.
the first. I go disco, and then you said Inferno. I'm like, nope, demolition.
Yep,
Disco
no.
demolition.
Because I was like, they burned them, but it wasn't Inferno.
So I just read up on this. Was this when you were live? What year was it? 70s? 80s?
Yeah, I was a toddler probably. Sure. So it was like 1978, 79.
So he said, hey, I hate disco so much. We're going to blow up a bunch of disco records in the middle of the field. Bring them on in. And then they said all the freeways were blocked with people trying to get there with their records to explode.
Yeah.
It seems like such a crazy thing. Like that many people hated disc. Like I don't feel like that would ever happen now. Like we're blowing up a bunch of Justin Bieber albums.
Oh, yeah,
like,
no.
People would be like, I'm not doing
No,
that.
because then they'd have to blow up their phones.
Throw your phone in the fire. Oh, boy.
Well, then how do I take a picture of me blowing up my phone?
Right.
And posting on Instagram.
Isn't it when you look up at a concert now, you're like, is anybody watching this concert? They're just taking videos they're never going to watch on their phone.
Then nobody
exactly.
ever wants to watch.
Oh,
hey, here's the concert. Don't put that in my face.
Yeah, come on, just enjoy it.
Well, I met a guy yesterday that has a huge YouTube following of him playing video games.
Oh yeah.
And I go, who has time to sit around and watch people play
Somebody
video?
else,
right.
Like, why don't you play the video game and get as good as him?
Yeah.
It was weird.
PewDiePie is I think most subscribed to YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And he makes $5-6 million a year playing video games.
Is that what it is? Is that what his popularity is?
Yeah. He's the biggest YouTubers ever. He kind of looks like
ridiculous.
He was on Conan, and you could tell Conan could not have been more annoyed.
Just really,
Like this guy. Like basically, he sat down and he's like, so what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. He makes probably like a little bit less than Conan does for playing video games. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Your next question, we are on Ghostbusters, and this is number 5. What year was Ghostbusters 2 released?
Bears.
Yep. Ken's going to get 2 points if he steals this.
1993.
Incorrect.
1989.
89. 5-3.
I just wanted to chime in and guess.
Nate is ahead.
It was a strategic move.
Did you see it in theaters when you were a tyke of what, 5? Was that 5 years
When
old?
the first
I was
one come
6.
out? 85?
84.
84?
Yeah. Oh, wow. And the second one starts 5 years later.
Oh. I didn't know that. That's pretty good.
I'm definitely mismatched here.
Saw that in theaters. What do you think was the thing that drew you to loving Ghostbusters enough to give it to me as a topic? Like, give me like a couple things that you really love about just the series or the characters.
Bears. He grew up a dork.
That is absolutely 100% correct.
Do I get 2 points?
Yeah.
The game's over. Ken won.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night. Honestly, it was just Bill Murray. I just thought he was hilarious. I loved.
He really is like the king of cinema.
Yeah. When I was like 2 or 3 years old, you know the scene at the beginning where they're drinking a bottle of whiskey out in front of Columbia College?
Sure.
I used to go into the cabinet and pull out a little bottle of vanilla extract because it looks like it, and I would just walk around the house going, "I don't know, Ray," and then fake drinking. I don't know.
What would your parents do?
My mom thought it was hilarious. So she'd be like, "Everybody, look at this. This is hilarious."
That's the
My mom would leave the oven on, and I would look at her. I go, "Shut it down! Shut it down now!"
Oh my god. That's the dick. That's the dick in the movie, right? The guy.
Yeah, he's from the EPA.
He's in. Isn't he the same?
He
literally,
asserts his authority.
Walter Peck.
He's the same character in Die Hard, isn't he?
He made a fortune being a dick. Yeah. Like, what's your type? Asshole.
I'm a dick. Here's your next question. It's about the socks. This is question 6. We're about halfway through both of these topics. Number 6 for Chicago White Sox. How many innings did the longest game ever go in 1984 between the Sox and the Brewers?
Bears. Is it 19 innings?
It's not 19 innings. Ken, you got a guess?
I'm going to say 21 innings.
It's 25. It's 25 innings. Wow. Yeah, that's a long time. That's got to be, what, a 5-6 hour game on TV?
Yeah. You definitely had some field position players pitching on that one. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What do you do in the stands without a cell phone in 84 watching that game? Just
drink beer.
Shake your pennant?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Did they still cut off the beer after the 7th inning? Because that would have sucked.
They probably kept that shit flowing. Ghostbusters number 6. What does the PKE meter stand for? PKE. What does that stand for? PKE in the devices the Ghostbusters use. 6th question.
Oh,
Bears.
Nate, what do you got?
Paranormal. Kinetic energy.
Close.
Yeah.
Ken?
I was gonna say that, but paranormal kinesiology energy?
Psychokinetic energy.
Psychokinetic energy.
Yeah, PKE. That's what that was. That device to pick up what was going on.
The P is silent. It's unfair.
Yeah.
Number 7, White Sox. What team did the Sox sweep in the 2005 World Series?
Bears.
Ken.
Houston Astros.
Yes, nice job. That makes it 5-4. It's getting real close here. This is good.
Wait, who's winning? Me?
You are by 1 point.
Right.
Okay, back to Ghostbusters. What percentage does the original movie have on Rotten Tomatoes? So you can eat. I'll let you both buzz in, and then whoever gets it closer
Bears.
will get.
Like closest without going over?
Yeah, how
okay.
about that?
I said Bears.
Okay. You guys know how Rotten Tomatoes works? It's
yeah.
60 and above is fresh, and
right.
it's all the critics' reviews.
I'm going to go with 70.
70%? What do you got?
And
you go higher or lower than 70? This decides if you win, pretty much.
It's absolutely higher than 70.
You think so?
Yeah. I'd say 80.
It's 97%.
Wow.
I was going to say 89, and then I was like, wait.
90. I had to I double
it's
clicked.
amazing.
I refreshed.
Perfect. It is a flawless film.
I went and I checked it out. Now, this does keep in mind, there's probably I don't know how many certified critics are on Rotten Tomatoes for modern movies. I think it's 200 maybe, and this back in the day only had, I think, 60. There were only 60 movie critics back then. So it is a less number of critics, but 97% thought it was great. So Nate's got 6 points there, and Ken
means
has
3%
4.
were stupid.
All right, here we go. This is number 8 for the Chicago White Sox. What did player Monty Stratton leave the Sox for? Was it A, won the lotto, B, a hunting accident, or C, entered a monastery?
Bears.
What do you got?
Entered a monastery.
Incorrect. Got a 50-50 on this one, Ken. Did he win the lotto or have a hunting accident to end his career with the Sox? Monty Stratton.
Accident.
It was a hunting accident.
Oh, man.
Correct. So Ken's got 5.
Yes.
To Nate's 6. Do you know that player? Monty Stratton? I think he was an old-timer. 20s or 30s or something like that. Okay, number 8 over here for Ghostbusters trivia. Annie Potts is an actress that plays what character in the series?
Bears.
Nate?
Janine Melnitz.
Janine.
From My Staff.
From My Staff. What is that?
That's a line from the movie.
Oh. I thought you were... you had some sort of staff.
Yeah, for full transparency, I was going to say The Secretary, which I don't think has been acceptable.
Did you ever see the movie The Secretary with...
Yeah.
What's her name?
Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
It's weird.
He makes her
It's very
pee
weird.
herself at her desk.
Well,
It's like a dominatrix.
yeah.
It's like a 50 Shades of Grey, but not sexy.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
They made me do that at NASDAQ. I got to raise my... Can I use the bathroom? Nope. Okay. Pee your desk.
Okay, here we go. This is number 9 for Chicago White Sox. Who was the only member of the 2009 White Sox to play over 150 games? Only member of the
Bears.
2009 White Sox. What do you got, Ken?
Paul Konerko.
That's correct. You got it, Paul Konerko. So that gives you
Impressive.
6-7. It's real close. I've never had a game this close. I like it. Here we go. This is number 9.
I gotta get one of these Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
This is number 9.
Outmatched.
Ken, I'd like to see you steal this question and really make the score interesting. So hopefully you could buzz in first. Who turned down the role of Peter Venkman to star in the Police Academy series?
Bears.
Yes.
Steve Guttenberg.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And that gives you 2 points. So now it is
Yes.
8-7. And Nate, did you know? You obviously
Had
probably
he
knew.
not said Police Academy, would you have had any clue?
Not a clue.
Yeah, okay.
Did
Not
you
a clue.
did you know it when I said Police Academy?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So you're 1 point
I just
behind.
want to point out that you had a hint in that question. I have yet to get a Sox question with a hint.
If you're not sure what a sore loser sounds like, you just heard one.
I'm just saying.
So we have.
I'm sorry. Who was the guy from your last question? Who was that guy? Say the name again.
Steve Guttenberg?
No, from your last question. The guy that in the hunting accident.
Monte Cristo.
Yeah, exactly.
favorite sandwich at Bennigan's. Bennigan's, R.I.P. Do they still have Bennigan's?
The secret is the Thousand Island.
Okay, so we have one question left for each category. Then we have
crap.
Then we have a question that's worth 2 points on its own to either player, and it combines both Ghostbusters and Chicago.
Okay. Jeez, good luck. How did you do that?
Somehow I figure it out every time.
Okay.
And then
Remember
we do
The answer is Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. And then we do an audience participation category type round where the three of us will go around and name something from a certain category, and the last person standing of that gets 3 points. So that could all help win at the end of the thing.
A lot of points
And
on the board
then we're done. So we're close to the end here. Let's see what this last question is. For the Chicago White Sox, who was hired as manager of his former team in 2004?
Bears. Ozzie Guillen.
Oh.
Wow.
That's good.
Oh.
I don't
Because
know.
now Nate
That's
got
the only
2.
thing I know about the White Sox. I'm so happy that happened.
Nate got 2, so now he's got 9, and Ken's got 8. So this is amazing. He stole 2 there, and this is the last Ghostbusters
Do I take my
question.
shirt off? How does this work?
Strip trivia. Number 10, a darker cartoon came out in 1997 with an extra word before Ghostbusters. What was the name of that cartoon?
Bears.
Yes.
Extreme Ghostbusters.
It was Extreme Ghostbusters, giving Nate 10 points to Ken's 8. So, Ken, now you got to kick some ass on these last 2 things we're going to do.
Okay.
It's time for the Showdown mashup. This is one question for 2
feel
points
like
that combines both things.
That should be like a lot more like, now it's time for the showdown mashup. Yep. Like,
yeah.
There's inserts.
oh,
there
sorry.
you go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
It's
cool, cool.
Wendy Starling.
Oh,
doing
nice.
Nice.
She'll be like a showdown mashup, and it's ridiculous. I warped her voice. It doesn't even sound like her. It's going to be
Oh.
great.
Combo question.
Shout out to Wendy Starling, my sister-in-law and comedian in New York. Here we go. This is the Showdown mashup question. So, again, you're buzzing in with the word Bears. This is for 2 points, whoever gets it. In August of 2014, what Ghostbuster threw out the first pitch at a Sox game to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the movie?
Bears.
Yep.
It was Dan Aykroyd.
Incorrect. Nate,
In 2014?
2014, 30th
Bill Murray.
anniversary. Incorrect. Ernie Hudson.
Okay. You know what? I
Ernie
thought
Hudson.
I was thinking it was going to be Harold Ramis, but I think he passed away before that.
All right, I think he was gone in 13.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Dan Aykroyd because Bill Murray's such a Cubs fan that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's good. That
Yeah,
was kind of a tough question.
It's the Ghostbuster we all forget.
We all
Yeah.
forget
Ernie
about
Hudson.
the first recruit. Fun story. I pooped next to Ernie Hudson one time in a Star Wagon trailer on a set of a pilot where he was like a boss character. And we walked in at the same time, and it was a small thing that had 2 bathrooms. And as I sat down, I realized he was sitting down, and he was loud. Loud.
All right.
He had
A
some
violent pooper.
violent pooper.
Okay.
Ernie Hudson. I don't know anybody else that has pooped next to a Ghostbuster, so I feel pretty good about that.
Is that on your IMDb or what do we?
RyanBuds.com pretty much just says that. It's a headshot of me and then that below it. And then flappers. So there's one more thing we're going to do. It's called
Categories with Bud.
We're going to switch things up since we've been talking about Ghostbusters and the Chicago White Sox. This
This
category
is for the game then, right?
This is for the game
'Cause it's
because
3
if
points?
Ken gets this, he wins. If Nate gets this, he wins. If I win, because I'm going to play with you guys, then I will award the points to one of you, and we'll figure that out.
Oh,
So the
this is
category. So we're going to
nonsense.
go around the circle. The
Yeah.
category, because again, like we said earlier, I thought you'd both be good at it. Simpsons characters. So we're just going to name Simpsons characters in a circle. You guys ready for this?
Yep.
This is it. So I'm going to start it off. Hans Moleman. Go over to Ken.
Barney.
Barney.
Homer.
Bart.
Apu.
Marge.
Lisa.
Mr. I'm out.
Oh no, you could dig.
Oh, you
I'll give you a
good?
couple seconds. Yeah. Make it interesting. You could put your shirt back on too. That was weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, the pressure's gotten to him.
Yeah, it is the pressure.
Yeah.
You've been watching.
Seems easy. You guys.
It was literally on when he
Principal
walked in.
Skinner.
Principal Skinner.
Okay, so I get a minute for my next one too, right? Mr. Smithers.
Police Chief Wiggum.
I'm out. I'm gonna give it. I can't.
Really? Nothing?
I just can't.
You couldn't have gone with Ralphie Wiggum? Like,
No,
right.
I've
Okay.
completely.
So now it's
frozen.
me and you.
Ralphie Wiggum.
Ralphie Wiggum. I'm gonna say. Oh no. Jebediah Springfield. He's a character, right?
He's a character.
Okay.
Helen Lovejoy.
Reverend Lovejoy.
Mr. Burns.
Sideshow Mel.
Sideshow Bob.
Krusty the Clown.
Teeny the Monkey.
Dr. Hibbert.
Dr. Nick.
Oh, that was my next one. Oh shit. Kearney.
Kearney. Yeah. Lenny.
Jimbo.
Carl.
Cletus.
Francine. That's his wife.
Sounds made up. Oh, that is his wife.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
We can name all their kids.
Right, yeah.
We really like the show.
Jim Bob, Joe Bob, Billy Sue, Bobby Sue.
Nate. If you can name one more, you win, because I don't think I have anything.
Sherry and Terry, the twins.
Oh, we named two. The winner of this episode of Trivia the Buds, none other than Mr. Nate Weatherup. Well done, Nate.
Thank you.
Nate, good job, Ken. Great runner-up. So it ended. Nate had, 13 points to Ken's 8, and that was a close one. I have a prize for you. Since you guys are all wearing caddy T-shirts, I have just one more for you, Nate.
Nice.
This is a tank top.
Oh,
It
nice.
says, I work out every day, and it has an Xbox controller on it. It is neon green.
Nice.
And I know
So
you're a big
sweet.
workout.
Fancy.
And for you, Ken, I have a comic book that is called Moon Knight. So put that right next to your toilet and just enjoy that over the next, when you pass the In-N-Out that I
Inventions
see
of the
lying
Moon
around
Knight.
here. Very good. Moon Knight is your prize. Thank you guys so much for playing. Where can people find you on the internet?
I'm
Ken.
at comedian Ken Gar on
Sure.
all social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Ken Gar Fan Club on Facebook.
Cool. Anything coming up you want to tell people to come see you at?
Labor Day, August 29th through September 6th, I'll be at the MGM Grand Brad Garrett's Comedy Club in Las Vegas.
One of the, maybe a dozen comedians to get to play that club like a year. So well done. You've been doing that for the last couple of years since you moved here, and just played in his celebrity poker tournament.
Yeah.
How was that, in a quick couple words?
It was great. I played with Kato Kalin from the O.J. Simpson trial.
Sure.
so-
He made it.
Oh, good. I was afraid you were going to be the celebrity of the table, and people were going to be like really upset about that.
This next guy, you might have heard him on Ryan Buds' trivia podcast.
Nate, what do you got going on? Where can people find you?
If you go to Google and put in my name, it's Nate Weatherup, at Nate Weatherup, for Twitter, at NT Weatherup, on Instagram because somebody stole my name.
Bastard.
NateWeatherup.com. Weather like outside, up.
Very good. And if you have a baseball field that needs raking, you talk to Nate. He will hook you up.
Yep.
He knows
Rake.
all the terminology.
Yep.
Nate and Ken also host trivia for me at a place called the Riviera in Calabasas, California. It's very fancy. It's where the Kardashians live. They've never stopped in, have they, guys?
Haven't seen one yet.
No,
they all look like Kardashians.
A lot of
out there.
lookalikes.
They do.
out
That
there,
is
though.
fair.
That's true. So if you want to play that, that's every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. It's usually Nate or Ken hosting that. So check that out. TriviaWithBuds.com is the place to do that. Fellas, thanks so much for having me in your house and being on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Take it easy.
Listener quiz.
There you have it, everybody. That was the first ever episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. Well done, Nate Weatherup. That guy just got himself a new T-shirt that may or may not have been jammed in a ball in the trunk of my car. If you like this episode, share it with a friend. That's the biggest thing I would say for you to do. Get somebody else on board. Tell them, hey, this dude does this fun podcast where two people go head to head in two different topics and they BS about a bunch of other stuff. Tell them about it. Share it for me. Share the link. Leave a review on iTunes. All that stuff helps, and we really appreciate it. A big part of this podcast that I want to do to interact with the audience is to do what I call the listener quiz. Now, I'm a trivia host. I always refer to it as trivia. I never refer to it as a pub quiz, but people do like the word quiz for some reason. I think it makes me think of school, so I don't use it too much, but I am going to call this the listener quiz. So it's 3 random questions that you will listen to as a listener, and you will just email me the answers. You can email them to me at Ryan Buds on all social media. You can social media tag me in a post with these answers. You can send them an email, ryan@ryanbuds.com, all that good stuff, and just send them my way, and I'll randomize all the people who get these answers right and pick one person, and they will win a prize. The prize for this first episode is a brand spanking new Trivia with Buds retro style t-shirt. So the first winner of this first episode will get a Trivia with Buds t-shirt. Look for it in stores everywhere very soon. And by stores, I mean Kmart. All the Kmarts that are still open are going to exclusively carry this shirt. Here are the 3 questions this week. They're super random, as they will be each and every episode. So here it is. What is the capital of Vermont? That is your first question. Number 1, what is the capital of Vermont? Number 2, what year did the Nintendo Entertainment System get released in the United States? What year did the original Nintendo come out in the U.S.? And your third question of the listener quiz, who played the Penguin in Batman 66, the Batman 60 series? Who played the Penguin? Those are your 3 questions. Send me the answers to be eligible for a free Trivia with Buds t-shirt. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow me on social media at Ryan Buds. Look for my live streams on Facebook, and like my Facebook page, Trivia with Buds on everything. You guys are awesome. If you're out there listening, thanks so much. Tell a friend, and see you next time for more Trivia with Buds, the podcast.